What's up, Golden Frying Pan people? Welcome back to the kitchen. Today, I'm gambling. So let's talk about porn. Um, I've been trying to play this game so many times. Not only have I been getting distracted because it's, ooh, shiny new game that I'm playing, but also I have not won a single time. I am remarkably bad at this game. It's impressive, which I don't, every time I saw this game, I was like, man, that seems so easy. But then again, I was like actually focusing on the game in those scenarios. Hey, let's just see what happens. I was actually focusing on the game in those scenarios. Yeah, that sounds about right. And so, like, yeah. But a part of this game is definitely luck. Because there was a couple different rounds where I was, like, really trying and I was focusing and I wasn't even talking all that much. And I was just, like, trying to really lock into the game, right? And, like, just not die, right? And it didn't work, to suffice to say, because there was this scenario where he had like a beer, two different magnifying glasses so he could see what was in the gun, and then two like one pair of handcuffs, and then two of these things. So he just knocked me out in one fell swoop. There was nothing I could do about it. But I guess sometimes that's how life is, you know? It's a gamble. I've talked about luck in the past, but I don't necessarily know if luck is something that I can super duper talk about. Are we. You can only have four? Then why is there space next to it? Whatever. Um. Luck is something that I've definitely talked about in the past. It's an interesting topic, given that it's so, like, diverse. It's untangible, right? Yet it's something that is ever present within our lives. It's something that is very obviously lucrative, and it is, as a matter of fact, so dominant. It is one of the only psychological disorders that is not just like a controlled substance that people widely regard as an addiction. Now, you obviously also have pornography addiction, which is becoming more and more common to talk about nowadays. Oh. There we go. That's the first time he's ever done it to himself. I'll take that. Well, there goes that's all the live rounds, so we're good. Pornography addiction has definitely been talked about more often, but classically, gambling addiction was one of the only things that people would talk about seriously whenever it came to addictions that weren't just controlled substances like, opioids or alcohol or, something real like that. But no, it is definitely a very interesting, cool. It's definitely a very interesting topic, going off of like desires and what we want, especially whenever it comes to like luck, because it's kind of that thrill, right? You're not necessarily going for the jackpot. You're chasing the chase itself, which this is the first time I've ever won. Yippee! Cool. Final showdown. Awesome. No blood transfusion. Okay. Awesome. And that's kind of like what people are looking for. They're looking for the thrill. They're looking for the, the horror. The fact that, you can just mess up. That's what they're looking for. They're not necessarily going for the jackpot. I'm not necessarily going to beat this guy. And I think that's something that is talked about in this game, actually, because, like, you're able to win so much money, and you're able to leave at any time you want, but, like, it'll just keep going up, and it'll just keep going up. Okay. All right. All right. Right now, he has totally the potential to absolutely destroy me. Nope. All right. Something that I've realized whenever it comes to it, it's definitely not the actual thing. Humans are so desire driven, but it's something that someone that I was talking to recently was talking to me about, like, I believe it was the Buddha, where he believed that all of humans' problems derived from desire and are chasing after it, right? Which I feel like is a pretty well, established concept, especially in religion, of, okay, 4 and 4, of like wanting things is bad and you should discipline yourself and punish yourself and everything like that. Let's shoot ourselves. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But I think it's interesting because those moments of desire, you know, wanting things actively is what gets us places so much faster. You don't exactly get to where you want to be by not wanting anything, right? I'm fairly certain I should just... What is this gonna do? That's not gonna... Are you kidding me? I didn't think it was gonna do that. Whatever. What a waste. Come on. Darn it. Well, I might be cooked. But anyway, it's interesting to me that desire is generally seen as a bad thing. While despite that, it is also one of the things that has gotten us so far as a species. You don't really get anything from not wanting stuff. Well, I guess, in a sense, that is, you know, the desire to neglect pain or something like that is, in a sense, a desire. And so that is, in its own way, desiring something. But still, most of the time, not wanting something, instead of, like, you don't get anything from, like, the void of wanting something. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking about, like, the absent, or, like, going away from something else. I'm talking about, like, just not feeling the desire for something. You don't really get anything out of that, right? However, it's what leads to so many problems, right? He could kill me here. Oh, no, he couldn't. I don't remember how many was shot on either side, so I'm just gonna try and shoot him. Because I'm pretty sure he racked a bunch and, you know, did everything like that. Okay, well, great. Please be over. Awesome. And so desire, I feel like, is very interesting to talk about because it's one of the greatest motivators of life, and yet it's one of the greatest setbacks, I suppose. It's not a good thing, yet despite that, it's one of the most effective things. How does that work? Don't ask me, I don't know. But it's still very evident. It's evident in pop culture. It's evident in the, you know, songs we listen to want things. Always want things. It's mind-boggling how we've been, you know, so based off of wanting things, and yet so consistently it seems like wanting things is destructive, you know? Gambling is wanting something. It's an unhealthy wanting of something. And I guess you can be like, well, yeah, there's your point. It's an unhealthy degree, but what makes the difference? I think this is one of the most interesting things of... What? What is that? What? I think that's one of the most interesting things about this one show I really like. I feel like I've talked about it in the past, called Dungeon Meshi. It is an anime, I know, whatever. And it's a simple premises of like, okay, so like, basically things are evil or whatever. You have these monsters, which are like gross and evil and bad and stuff like that. But you're in a dungeon. Okay, that's cool. He only has 1 health left. Yeah, buddy? What? You should have... You don't have... What? What's happening? What? What is this? I didn't win? He still had 1 health left. That's quite a bit of money. I had more to talk about. Well, I guess. Are you kidding me? Whenever I start actually having a conversation, the game ends? I thought I'd have a little bit more time. I died so many times. Well, I guess that's it. Double or nothing unlocked. Awesome. But actually, I think that's pretty well, I feel like that's actually a really good ending of this this specific conversation of wanting things, of desire. It didn't feel like it was over. The conversation that I was having had more, and so one would want me to end. We strive for that conclusion. We strive for that sense of completion, of what we think will cause completion. However, we don't really know what it will be, and we can't really promise. We can just guess. And I feel like that's a really big part of gambling, of porn, of any sin, really. Is it bad to want things? Of course not. It's one of the most effective ways to get what you need. But it's also one of the most destructive things that you can do. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. I'm not some sort of philosopher for thinking that. People will always want to do what they want. They'll always think that they know what they want. I believe it was a philosopher, I can't remember which one, that said whenever you admit that you know nothing, you are finally a scholar. Because you cannot truly know everything. It's simply ridiculous to think that you can. And the more that you think that you know, the more closed-minded you are to learning more. That was a lot of mores. But it's true. Most of the people that I know that think they know the answer are so much less likely to listen to what another opinion could be. Whenever they've already accepted the frame of reference of what they have as what is and what can be and what will be, they're a lot less likely to address anything else that it could be. And sometimes what it could be is so much better. You know, we're not necessarily talking about, you know, things like porn in regards to hanging out with friends, loved ones, or a significant other. We're not necessarily talking about gambling, where you're, instead of spending all of your money for a high, you're investing it, consistently spending it in a way that would make your future lighter and more structured and sound, less unpredictable. I don't know what the answer to wanting things is, but I know that sometimes I have to accept that I won't get the ending and I won't truly know what I want, but I just know that what I want probably won't be enough. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you guys next week.